Hey everybody, this is a Copic marker sketch that I did um, using I guess, whatever I remember learning from Adam Hughes's How to Draw um, Good Girls. He was basically just going through his Copic sketch, um, like a Copic sketch tutorial. He drew like a mermaid. There's a couple parts of the DVD that you find on YouTube. That's how I even found out about the DVD. And then I think I bought it for like it wasn't too much, like $30, I think, maybe 40 on eBay. Um, yeah, so I was trying to get a look like that. Um, this is my character, Andy Litzinger, Andrea Litzinger, I guess, but everybody calls her Andy. She's a police detective. Um, for volume 2, she joins the well, I guess it happened in volume 1, but she joins the VACU Vampire Assault Case Unit to fight Sakal and get her friend Henry back. I did use reference for the face. I was trying to like look at the references, study it as good as I could, and then put it away and go from there to get that kind of realistic feel that Adam Hughes gets with his figures. Like you know that they're drawn, like they look slightly cartoony, but they look pretty on the more realistic side. So anyway, I was trying to kind of get that tone, but you could see him having trouble with this face, lining up the eyes again, and to make it more realistic. So I ended up getting the reference out again, and I could see that by when I got pretty far into it, I could see that it was different enough so it won't look like the reference. Because whenever I draw from reference, it tends to look exactly like the reference. So like if I, from a movie, if I pause a movie and it's like, oh, this looks like Pierce Brosnan. I never drew Pierce Brosnan, but you get the idea. Um, and then I also took a picture of my hand, and I was gonna use that for reference. I mean, I kind of looked at it a little bit, but it was on my phone. I mean, I was gonna use it as exact reference, but it was on my phone, and I'm recording with my phone, so I I was like, whatever. I mean, I kind of got the gist of the. I mean, as long as I get the face down, I think all this other stuff doesn't really matter. Um, that's what I thought anyway. It worked for the hand, kind of. The knife, not so much. I mean, it looks like a knife, with when I outline it, when I get to the inks part. But when I got to doing the Copic grays, I used warm and cool. I used cool for the knife, and anyway, it looks obviously like I didn't know what I was doing. Um, anyway, yeah. So for next time, I'll you know look up a knife. I didn't even know what she's gonna be holding in her hand. At first, I was thinking like, oh, maybe I'll have her hold a skull, but I think that's kind of been done a lot lately. So then I was like, maybe she could be holding a hand. She could be holding like fire or something, but she's not like a magical type person. So anyway, wait, I went with knife. Um, and and the hair was different from the reference too. The reference, she had like long hair covered up her neck, and it was just her face, so there was no shoulders. So I just kind of guessed at that part. Her hair's I wanted it. Her hairstyle is tied back anyway, so I wanted to keep it like that. And that, I mean, to me, it seems like it's easy enough to pull off to make it seem like hair. I was like, yeah, just use like 3 tones of warm markers and leave enough room for a highlight. It's no big deal. And I'm trying to go through this kind of quick too. And I was pretty proud of myself because it only took 2 hours and 6 minutes. I was Pretty surprised by that. I thought for sure it'd take me like 3 or 4 hour video. Uh, okay, so this is as tight as I need the pencils to be, really. Um, I start off with the eyes to because if I mess them up, then I basically mess up the whole friggin' picture. So start off with those, and the other facial features. I should have toned back on the eyelashes, or I thought I should have, because when you pull up a lot of ink like that, and then start going or erase the lines underneath, or go over with Copics, you can smear the lines, especially when you put that much ink in a area. But these pens, I'm using those Master Touch pens again, Master Touch Graphic Illustration. They don't say that they're archival on there like how the Microns do, but I mean, I don't know. I figure even if it's not archival, it'll last long enough. And who cares? This is a sketch anyway, so I don't need it to last that long. These surprised me because when I do start to go for the erasing, um, like they're already dried and into the paper already. And I'm holding my finger pretty close to the pen because it's like a warm, humid day, and the paper was kind of bubbling, so I wanted the paper to be as flat as possible. And that's another thing. It's humid, and the ink still just like went right in the paper, and I didn't have to worry about when I was erasing. I did give it some time. Obviously, I didn't just like put a line down and start erasing immediately after. However, like, yeah, I mean, I still noticed a difference because with microns, if I put that much ink like on by her eyelashes there, then I know that I'm gonna have to like dab at it with the eraser to pick up as much loose ink as I can, because it's not all dried on or whatever. Maybe it couldn't adhere to the paper because the graphite underneath a little bit. Um, oh yeah, and so I'm just eyeballing the knife again. It looks like a knife, so I mean, at least I got that. I could have done a much better job. Um, let's see what else. Oh, I got there'll be a little bit of a break coming up. Okay, wait, hang on, before that, see him dabbing at the eyes, but nothing was coming up. So I just started. I didn't care. I was like, all right, I guess I'll just race without fear of smearing anything. And I was very surprised. These things did not smear, and I think they're discontinuing them because they were on clearance at the store. So that's a little bit of a bummer. I mean, maybe they're not. Who knows? Maybe they're just on clearance, and they'll be back again. Uh, Forget. Okay, so what do I do next after this? I think I just go into markers. Okay, no, I grabbed an ash can. Check that out. I got from Alternate Comics. Alterna Comics does news printing now. They have been for like probably a year, maybe. Pete Smetti. Anyway, he sent these out. I got the 200. 200 is the most that they do, and I was really impressed with it. It looks really small, but you could read all the letters and see all the details and stuff. Um, yeah, if you want, and they don't only do ash cans; they do regular size comics as well. I just wanted an ash can because I never had one before. So this is the first 24 pages done. I did a lot of detail on that guy's little vest there. It's fancy little vest. Um, but yeah, so I'm thinking I'll for the ash cans, I'll give for the first 10 backers of the Kickstarter and the Fund My Comic when I launch them. Hopefully, I'll be able to launch them both on the same day. Of So yeah, the first 10 backers will get like a free uh, what do you like as an incentive, a free ash can with their order. Um, I'll include that. I'll do it as like early birds for an early bird for the Kickstarter, and then a Fund My Comic. I don't know if I'll be able to I don't know if they have like an early bird option, like where there's like a limit of 10 that get it, that are included for whatever. I mean, I'll figure it out. So either way, first 10 backers of Fund My Comic or Kickstarter will get a free ash can, and then for the rest, I guess I'll take to conventions and sell, or maybe I'll have it as an add-on. I don't know if you hear that, but a loud vehicle is driving by. Let's see. I used a warm one to go over all her. I mean, a warm zero to go over all her skin to just kind of have a set tone. I think I used a kind of a going out of ink marker though for the warm zero. And then this is a warm one I'm using now to like go over more shadows and fill in the lips. And I think I should have put a bit more of a shadow on her bottom chin line, but that's neither here nor there. Uh, Adding some shadows for her little like flyaway type kind of hairs. Um, yeah, I don't want to get too crazy with the hair because I'd be here all day just doing little highlights, individual highlights and shadows. Um, okay, so this is a warm two. Is that a warm two or a warm? No, I think it's a warm two. Yeah. I have. I think I switched up the warm twos because I got two or three warm twos, and I'm trying to use the brush tips as much as possible to go over the contours of the face. Seems to work a little bit better. And yeah, and then I got the reference out now, and I'm like looking at it as I'm doing this to really nail down the shadows for her face because I wanted to get that smile and the shadow under her nose and her eyes. The ear, her hair was covering up her ear, so I just kind of guessed at how that would be. And the neck, there was no neck, so I just also guessed at that. I went a little overboard too. You'll see I'm using a three here, and like I went too much. See her ligaments popping out too much, so I try to tone that down like that. But it's still popping out a little too much. Uh, I try to get it toned down a bit more with. Okay, now I'm using a three. That was all two, I guess. And I try to tone down a little bit more when I get the color pencil part, the white color pencil. That's the cool thing about the grays is you just worry about the tone of it, not the I don't know the technical terms, but whatever. So a white color pencil will work for for anything. Skin, that knife, her hair, her shirt, and black color pencil will also. So yep, going over her nose shadows and all her other shadows a little bit more. The darker I go from light to dark, that's what Adam Hughes did in his video. I'm basically copying everything he does in his video. I mean, how he does it anyway. I'm no Adam Hughes, um, but he goes from light to dark with the Copic markers, and when you the darker you go, the less you can really use it for skin anyway, because the shadows get less and less. Um, I'm trying to leave a highlight for her hair. It's really bothering me. I'm using a warm three here, and now I'm using warm four. I end up going really dark with her hair because I thought I was going to use warm three to a six. No, wait, warm three to a warm five, but I went. You'll see I go darker because I'm not happy with that highlight I left on her hair. It just stands out too much, and you can see I'm trying to figure out how to uh, make it look more believable, I guess, or more less of a something that stands out. I'm using a warm 5 here. And I'm just kind of figuring out the hair. I don't really know exactly what I'm doing. The uh, the reference that I had, she had long, like flowy hair. She didn't have her hair tied back, and I just figured I could. Her hair is tied back, so I could fake it. It should be no problem. But anyway, I ran into a problem, and I kind of fixed it how like a version of Wally Wood, or a slight interpretation of Wally Wood's famous quote of, when in doubt, black it out. Instead, I just went like, when in doubt, um, make it all the same tone, and you'll see when I get to that part. It's like looking better, but it's just I can't pull it together. So I decided to make the hair even more darker than what it was. So I'm using a warm 5 here, and I'm going over the white area pretty fast, so it kind of leaves a little bit of a highlight, like a mid tone, I'd guess. And then I left a tiny bit of white up there as to fake a highlight, and I think it works for me anyway. To keep it in that sketchy quality, and then like when I glance at it, it's like my brain interprets it as okay, highlight, even though it's not an exact highlight. Um, okay, I'm darkening up her hair with a warm 6 of I'm done with the skin now. I just went from warm 0 to a warm 4. When I got to the 4, I barely even used the 4 on like the lips and tiny bit of the shadow. The main ones I used were the warm 0 and the warm 1. I use a lot of warm 2 on the neck though, and the neck, yeah, you'll see. I try to fix that up a little bit more. I'm darkening in the eyes with the warm 7, warm 6 or warm 7. No, that was the warm 6. Yeah, I just went around the irises to kind of darken them in. Now I got the warm 7, so I'm not using as much of it for the hair now because that's like the darkest value I use on the hair. Uh, yeah, so she's like um, a police detective. Met Henry when he was about 7 or 8, and she was like 24 on the police before she was a police detective. And so now we fast forward. Henry's like 18, she's 34, 35. Basically, like she's like a bigger sister to Henry. She's, kind of takes care of him whenever, or helps out. It was his uncle that was taking care of him, and then when his uncle died, it was basically her taking care of him. And oh yeah, so for Occult Descent, uh, I'll leave the sign up link for Kickstarter. Fund My Comic doesn't do a sign up link yet, uh, and follow along on click the link, follow, press the follow button on Kickstarter, and then you'll be notified when I launch. I plan on launching June 7th, like off the top of my head, like 10 a.m. Central Time. Um, so yeah, that'll be pretty cool. I don't know exactly what time on June 7th that there's K-pop junkie. She uh, is cool enough to let me go on her show and talk about the comic a bit and look at the campaign. Um, like I said, I don't know what time that I'll contact her, and then for the next video, I'll I'll let you know what time that show will be. Um, where was I? Okay, so yeah, for the knife, I wasn't too happy with it. I tried to do like a light, then a mid, and then a dark, and it does not look that great. Right now, I'm using a cool 7 on for her shirt, And for the knife, I used the cool markers as well. It was a cool 0. I colored in basically everything. And then a cool 1 to add in a slight detail, and a cool 3 for the mid, and a cool 7 for the contrasting dark that's supposed to be like the reflections in the metal to make it look more metallic, but it does not work. So I'm using a 6 to color in her eyebrows, a warm 6, and a warm 7 to do the outlines of her eyes for that dark part of your eye. And I'd okay, so Adam Hughes, I don't believe he did this part. I just couldn't let the hair go. I wanted to add more detail in there, so I'm using a point 0.1, um, and I'm kind of doing my interpretation of like those Travis Charest uh, lines that he does, where he does like a line and he breaks it up and it's like little ticks. I kind of get a close up here at some point. Or wait, no, I don't. But I'll get a close up now. Hang on. Okay, so I got a little bit of a close up. I noticed, and then I'll start like drawing on the hand. But anyway, here's the close up of the hair a little bit. Hopefully, it looks better. I can't see too much on my phone here. I don't think I needed to add any details to the hand at all. But once I was doing the hair, I was kind of on a roll, and you know, habits are tough to break at times. I'm I don't know. Next time I do one of these, I'm going to really try to keep the this kind of detailing to a minimum. Or I don't know. It depends on how much I like it. I actually did like this one. This is one of my better Copic sketches that I've ever done. Um, I have I haven't done Copic sketch practice very much. I got really lucky. I bought a bunch of Copic grays and the refills on eBay. I think this was a college student or something. He was in architecture and he just didn't use them anymore. So, but once I like practiced for a little bit, and then I put it away and started working on my comic. Um, but I think working on the comic also, because you work on uh, it's basically all grays for me anyway, because I'm not doing the coloring so I'm focused a lot on shadow and and oh, I try to highlight the forehead. I don't know if you've seen that, and but it didn't work. It looked goofy, so I erased it. Uh, but I think the yeah okay. So I think working on the comic book, focusing on lights and darks a lot more. Uh, that kind of like give me a lot of practice for this as well. Um, I also watched David Finch and Eric Grove when they did their Copic study stream. It was pretty cool. I, and then because of that, I got the neutral grays as well. Um, it was yeah, and they did one with Jorge Molina, and yeah, a lot of learning on that one. Because of that, I bought the Hot Arches hot press. Um, it's like cotton paper, which I didn't even think about using until I'm like recording the video, and and I'm doing a kind of an outline thing. I'm copying Adam Hughes, like how he was doing on his How to Draw Good Girls. I I mean he does it like way smoother, and it's like he has no fear of like going over the edges. But I'm just like so trying not to go over the edges. I want it to be like perfect, I guess. So I was having the lines obviously look much more jagged because of that. I'm just filling up the background because I don't really know what to do. I fill it up a little bit more at the end. Um, Another thing that I copy from Adam Hughes. I don't even know why I do it. I think it's because I don't know why it's done. Adam Hughes does it because I think he's doing that Art Nouveau kind of look, and he's probably got a much clearer because his obviously his work looks much cooler. But I think he's got like a better developed idea of how these designs look. If he knows it or not, he probably like internalized it so much where he doesn't even think about it. But yeah, and this is another thing he did on the video. He just went out with a colored pencil and outlined the the figure like much more. It's like an illustrator kind of move. I think it's also, yeah, another like Art Nouveau kind of thing where they make the outlines of the I don't know what is silhouette or figure, whatever you call it, like really dark. Uh, and I'm using a color pencil, Prismacolor Premiere, and yeah, just darkening up whatever. I even darkened up her chin line there. Um, not just going around the chin line that goes over the neck part, and yeah, I'm saving the that highlight on the knife. It looks goofy, but I'm saving that for last because I use acrylic white. I was like, whatever. I mean, at that point, I kind of didn't care if I went over that part because acrylic white will just white out everything. It's like don't have to worry about keeping the white of the paper shining through because the markers will bleed through it. But anyway, yeah, this is pretty close to the end of the video. Please follow the link in the description below to Occult Descent, and follow and all that. I think you'll like the comic. It's pretty. I mean, if you like horror comics, but all right, have a good one.